Tonight, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Detroit...
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Throwing to start the drive. McCray over the middle, complete. That's Bennett. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And if you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll keep it on the ground. Bennett. The number. For him from a week ago. 18 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
To throw on 3rd down, McCray. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. And this one is right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Taking it about the 1.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. And, Charles, it's not very often an elite back becomes available. They jumped on him. I think they were smart to do so.
I agree, and we hear so often about how the running back position is devalued. But when you have a chance to get one of the truly best, top of his game, you go out and get him.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Dancing to his left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Christian Harris from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They'll drop to throw. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season, you're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. They'll give him 4 yards there, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Bennett, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. The Lions at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Back to throw here. The quick slant caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown from 8 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McCray firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Off the play fake. McCray under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On third down, McCray.
That's complete to McBride.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now Hall to start the drive. They juked him. And he's got this down to the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. On first down, McCray. And a quick throw here that's complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw on second down, McCray. He finds his man, complete. It's Bennett. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Back to throw. McCray. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Operating from the gun, McCray. He finds his man, complete. That's Bennett. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Just 21 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. Finding Williams once more, complete. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jamison Williams.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on
the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Weeks. Second half, let's do it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? That he's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They're going to look to throw. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. McCray, quick slant to Watson. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McCray. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Lions Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Lions to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's airing it out for Williams. And this one is incomplete.
This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one. So they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line.
107 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Breece Hall, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll try the left side. Bennett. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. Well, that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on 3rd and long. McCray
able to get this one to McBride.
Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
At this point, this offense feels like they can just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Hall on a give up the middle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Breece Hall with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Up the middle they go. It's Bennett.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McCray. He finds his man, complete. It's Bennett. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the 1st as well.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ballgame.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Second and 3 from the 9.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll look to throw again. And it's a Packers touchdown. Amari Cooper, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Take it in at the 3.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like they're going to be.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. Touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
64 yards.
And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Throwing to start the drive. McCray, he finds his man, complete. That's McBride. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 161 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Hall again. And he's got room. And they move this all the way down to the 9. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run with Hall. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. Nope.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Throwing to start the drive. McCray completes it right side to Cooper. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, McCray, and he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's airing it out for Williams. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. McCray. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. McCray. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Lions, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S.